Hi, this is Suresh from Coimbatore Mobile and Suresh Vista. In the video, we will normal this is technical video, so I am going to give it in English. This is for this will be useful for engineering graduates. Today I am going to demonstrate about the DC series motor. We are going to do a load test on DC series motor. I am going to give you a clear theory explanations about DC series motor, and we are going to do it practically how a load is controlled in a DC motor and what are the characteristics that we are going to determine using DC series motor. We will see step by step. This is the work table. Now I am at KIT, Karnal Institute of Technology. This laboratory has been dedicatedly developed for electrical machines. We have 21 different machines here. Today I am going to explain about a DC series motor. Let us go to the experiment. Until then, please write. This is the work table. You are going to do an experiment. This work table is a DC series motor work table where we have the terminals taken from the motor. So this is the motor. I am going to do a test and we are going to demonstrate through this motor. This is a DC series motor. Here it is a nameplate detail. Just zoom it and try to show it to the students. That is, here we have voltage 220 volts. Ampere is the maximum current is like 19 ampere. RPM is running RPM, that is 1500 RPM. And the HP, it is 5 HP machine. And this is the manufacturer number and other data. There is no classification. B type insulation is given here. So these are some of the content, that is the parameters or the technical data that you can be able to infer from the nameplate details. This is the work machine. This is actually this is the bed. Actually we have just installed the particular machine in the bed with the loading arrangement. This is the mechanical loading arrangement, which is the breakdown we are using. It is going to give a load for you, and this is the spring balance, which is going to give which is useful for you to measure the torque in future with using the formulas. I'll tell you the formulas and all. And let us go and see step by step what is the meters that we are going to use for measuring particularly. And this is the starter we are going to use here. This is actually a 2-point starter. For DC series motor we will use a 2-point starter. We will call the 2 point as L and A, where L is the line and A is the armature. This is the DC terminal supply. This is an input actually. We have taken an input from the rectifier. We have a rectifier here. From the rectifier I have taken a supply and it is kept here. 230 volt DC supply is maintained, positive and negative, controlled by a switch and an indicator. This is actually a starter point where we have, as I told, 2-point starter L, A, where L is the line, A is the armature, and this is the negative point, which is the common point here. And this is the armature of the machine. Series motor A, that is the armature coil of a machine is taken away to the work table for easy connections. And this is the field circuit of the machine taken to the work table from the machine, where it is having F and FF end. This is all the terminals that is kept ready for demonstration purposes. And we need to measure the speed, so we need a tachometer. So digital tachometer we are using here, and we need some connecting wires to do the experiment for making connections. And for measurement of voltage we are going to use a DC voltmeter. See, the indicates that the sign indicates this is a DC meter. We have to use a DC meter. It means a moving coil meter actually. And we need to measure the current because we are going to do a load test. So there will be a variation in the load. It should be it should be noted using ammeters. So we have to use an ammeter, DC ammeter. Because since the machine rating is, as I told you, it is 19 amps, I am going to use 20 ampere ammeter here. Since the voltage is maintained at 230, I am going to use 300 volt DC ammeter. And this is the manual we are given to the students. And this is a circuit diagram what you are looking for. I will explain you circuit very clearly, and I will tell you a small theory about it, and we will go to the next step. So please wait until. Yes, this is the circuit diagram that we are going to do the test. We have to follow this circuit diagram. This is the terminal voltage, as I told you, positive and negative. We are going to give an input supply to the machine, 230 volt DC supply. From that through a DPTC switch, that is double pole single throw switch, which is like an isolator here. Actually it's a simple switch. It is used for making a connection to the main and to the machine. Okay. And for protection purposes we are using the fuse. There is a separate calculation for calculating the fuse. Here we are using, that is 25 amperes of fuse. The reason is, normally during load test, normally we have to take 125% of the load. Here the load current is like 19 ampere, that's the maximum load current. I have taken 125%, approximately 23.5 ampere will be there. So for 23.5 ampere, just I have taken 25 amperes, nearly approximately equal to 23.5. So 25 amperes is selected as my fuse, okay, because I am doing a load test. And just connect a voltmeter in parallel to the line, so it is going to measure the line voltage. And in series with that, I am going to measure the series current. Here, since it is a series motor, the series coil as well as armature coil is going to have the same current because it is connected in series. Therefore, this ammeter is going to measure an armature current, or even I can say it's a field current, because IF is equal to IA here, or in series connections. So before that, I am going to have a starter here, because this purpose of the starter is to start the machine in terms that by reducing the starting current, also it will try to increase the torque. The function of the starter is to reduce the starting current and to increase the torque to some extent. So as I told you, we are using 2-point starter. L is connected to the line side, L is to the line side, and A is to the armature side. And from the armature, we are giving to the field, that is series field. When I say series field, normally in some books and some books we can refer that series as sometimes Z or sometimes Y. Normally we will use that. F is normally for shunt field. In so many books we can able to see that F referred to shunt field. This series will refer to Z sometimes or Y sometimes. It may differ from book to book. So try to understand the difference, because I shown you here as a F, which is a general nomenclature, but here it is taken as Y. So Y is a series field end, one end, and the next end of the series field is connected to the armature A, and from armature AA to the negative terminals. This is a simple circuit diagram that you are going to follow. The machine is coupled with the brake drum. As I told, this brake drum is used to load the machine. We are going to give a mechanical load, and what much amount of load I am going to give is measured through the spring balance readings. Future, this is going to help you calculate the torque of the machine. Okay, then we will go to the requirement. Actually, any experiment, normally we have to understand that why we are going for the experiment. That is no aim. Actually, we have to aim, or that is our objective. Why we want to go. Why you want to understand this one, what is the purpose of doing this experiment, that is the first thing. And as I told you, next we have to select the apparatus, the correct rating of apparatus. For what is the test I am going to do, for that which machine I have to select, for that which what is the measuring instrument I have to select. All those things will come under apparatus required. And necessary formula, here I am going to calculate the torque. Therefore the torque is given by 9.81 into R, where R is the radius of the drum, into the difference between the spring balance reading S1 and S2, the difference in Newton meters. And we are going to measure the output power. The output power is mechanical power. So P out is equal to 2 pi NP divided by 60 watts. That is the mechanical power here. The input power is electrical power. Therefore, input power is given as P input PI, which is input voltage into input current. Since it's a DC, there is no power factor here. So don't confuse. Normally people will confuse, specifically from mechanical or other stream students. Normally they used to confuse, being I into capacitor. Sometimes they may put in, they will try to write unknowingly by simple confusions, because this is a DC machine, so there is no power factor at all. Please keep it in mind. Power is given by V into I. And the efficiency of the machine is calculated as eta, which is given by output by input into 100. We are going to give the efficiency in percentage. And normally we need to tabulate the readings. And the tabulations are like, we have to tabulate the speed, we have to tabulate the current, we have to tabulate the voltage, and we have to tabulate the spring balance readings. And all those is the required tabulations or required data, which is very, very necessary for calculation of the power or torque or whatnot. And finally we are going to draw a graph. I'll show you the model graph clearly. There is a graph. We have two different characteristics. Normally we call it as electrical characteristics and we call it as mechanical characteristics. There are two different characteristics that you can able to understand from this particular experiment. When you say mechanical characteristics, the characteristic shows a relationship between the torque and the speed. So torque is also a mechanical component and the speed is also a mechanical component. Torque plus the speed is a mechanical characteristics. On the other side, if you take a load current IA and if you take a power, then IA and the torque is again we will call it as an electrical characteristics. So two different if you calculate the efficiency relating the electrical as well as mechanical, normally it will come under electrical characteristics. There are two different types of characteristics that we are going to demonstrate here. And the main and important theory that every student has to understand, that we will discuss very clearly now, because we are going to do a test in the DC series motor. Normally this series machine, sorry, I told you induction motor, it is a DC machine. This DC series machine is normally used in the applications where we need high torque at the time of starting. For example, I can tell you like locomotive, DC locomotive, like train, we can say train, or even lift, hoist, wherever we are using. For initial conditions, it has to take up the maximum load, so it needs maximum torque. Just have an example like locomotive. So in locomotive at the time of start, it needs maximum torque. So in order to have a maximum torque, the machine should be selected for the perfectly to be selected where we can make use of this DC series motor. Normally DC series motor will have very high starting torque. Why? The reason I will tell you very clearly. Please wait for a moment. Tell you about the the importance, otherwise the important theory that you have to understand before entering into the experiment. As I told, we are going to do an experiment. We are going to demonstrate a DC series motor. When I say DC series motor, I told you that this DC series motor is normally used in the locomotives where we have a starting load. Actually, two important things. That is, I can say even a precaution. At the time of starting, this machine should not be started without load at all. Please keep it in mind. This machine should not be started without load at all. The reason for that is, since the machine is having very high starting torque. I told you the machine will have very high starting torque. I will tell you the reason why this machine is having very high starting torque when compared to synchronous, when compared to shunt machine or shunt motor. You go. Normally we know that speed depends upon torque. We used to say speed depends upon torque, and there is the relationship between speed and torque. Two important equations that you have to keep it in mind while doing this experiment, or while you want to understand this experiment very clearly. Number one is, torque is directly proportional to flux, or we can call it as flux. That is, this flux is directly proportional to again the field current, and also torque is directly proportional to IA, where IA is armature current. So there is in this case this torque is not at all having any relation with the speed. In this equation number 1, I can say torque is directly proportional to flux into IA, where it is having no relation with the speed. So I cannot relate the torque as well as speed in this equation. That's why I told you speed depends on torque earlier. But how it is going to depend on torque, that is given by the second equation. Speed is equal to K, where K is the constant, EB by phi. Okay, EB by phi. And how this, since this phi is having a relation to the torque, and I can relate the torque and speed now. And other side, speed is equal to K into EB by phi, where phi is a field current. As I told, phi depends upon the field current, or is directly proportional to the field current. And EB is a back EMF at the time of starting. Back EMF is equal to 0. This back EMF EB can be given as V minus of IA RA, where V is the terminal voltage, IA is the armature current, and RA is the armature resistance. So I can write this equation: N is equal to V minus of IA RA by phi. So from in this equation, if I write, if pi is increasing, if the flux is increasing, definitely the speed should reduce. Okay, the speed should reduce. This is on the one side. Coming to the next side for easy understanding, I can relate this IA from this equation. IA is equal to V minus of EB by RA. At the time of starting, as I told, EB is equal to 0, then IA is directly equal to the applied voltage, say 230 volt by the RA value. Okay, then I can this is the one that you have to understand the important component IA is directly, IA is equal to V minus a VB by 5, EB is equal to 0 at the time of starting. Okay. But for series motor, this torque, as I told, torque is directly proportional to IA, phi into IA, since IA and field current, I told you right now, IA and the field current IF are in series, because armature, the machine armature as well as the shunt series coil are in series. Therefore, this is IF, and the current flowing inside the armature is IA and IF. So both are in series. Therefore, this torque equation is directly, the fluxes, as I told you, fluxes depend on IF. Okay. So IF into IA, I into I. Therefore, torque is directly proportional to IA square. So when it is IA square, then automatically the torque is here depends upon the square of the current which is taken as an input. Since at the time of starting this is 0, therefore think about IA, therefore very high torque will be developed in this machine. Since the torque is very high, in that case I am going to apply some load. A minimum amount of load should be applied for the machine at the time of starting, and then only we have to start the machine. Let us demonstrate you very clearly about that. Okay. Until then, please wait. Now we'll see the connection step by step, how to give a connection in a work table. As I told earlier, this is the supply input. I have taken positive voltage, that is a red color wire, it is given to the voltmeter. So input is given to the voltmeter terminal plus. Okay. And then the green color wire is again given to negative. This is just going to measure the voltage. So voltmeter is connected in parallel to the supply. So this is for measuring the line voltage. Okay. From the voltmeter, I have just taken, already I have told you there is a switch, so for fuse, this is for protection purpose, already it is inbuilt. So I am not showing any connection for fuse as well as DPSC switch, which is inbuilt there. So after that, from the voltmeter, I am just giving to the ammeter positive. This is this black color wire, which is going to the ammeter. So from the voltmeter, it is going to ammeter positive, and from the ammeter negative side, I am just giving to the L. L is the starter, positive point L. So this is L. I am giving to the positive point. This is 2-point starter. I am using L point. So from A, again from L, it is over given. Input is given to the L, and from A, I just given to the armature terminal A. Okay. From A to A, starter terminal A to motor terminal A. This is a motor armature terminal, this is a starter terminal. From A to A I have given, and then from AA, that is from the motor terminal AA, just I have given to the series field F, and from FF I just given to, from FF, see, it is given to starter terminal, negative terminal, that is the side, and from negative just I have to close the circuit. So the circuit is closed with the negative point of the voltmeter. So just observe very slowly and study the connection. Voltmeter should be in parallel and ammeter should be in series, and also armature connection and field connection, that is armature winding and series winding should be in series. So this should be very, and the circuit should be closed in the negative terminal. See, in the negative terminal already voltmeter is connected, and then the 2-point starter negative is connected, and then field is connected. All should be maintained very clearly. The precaution is, this should be, the machine should be loaded at the initial conditions. Try to see here, the drum is very tough to rotate. So drum is already blocked here. This is must and mandatory precautions you have to take care. As I told you, since the machine is the high starting torque machine, we have to give an initial load. Typically, like example I told you, a locomotive train or other lift. Okay, to keep that thing in mind while you're doing this experiment. Then we'll try to start the machine and try to take the readings, and until then, please wait. We will go for practical demonstration. Now I will just try to execute how to start the machine, and how to take the readings, and how to note it, and how to calculate it. Okay, for that I just get some necessary help from my professor colleague. Mr. Pradeep sir, please just try to switch on the machine This is the power input is given to the machine. So when the power is switched on, try to understand that the voltmeter is reading like 200 and now it is approximately is 240 because 120 into 2 times because 120 into 2 times on the second scale. So approximately 240 volts is the input supply in the DC. Now the input supply here is like 240. Just make it as 230. 230 is the perfect voltage. Sometimes it may be a little bit higher. And see the ammeter here, ammeter is reading 0 value. Okay, so this is what we have to examine and we have to observe. At the time of starting, machine is at no load, so ammeter should read 0 and voltmeter should read the maximum, say 230 volt. And now before starting the machine, try to observe the speed. Try to observe the speed. The starter is here. Pradeep sir is going to start gradually and see the observations how he is starting very gradually. At the same time, try to observe the sound of the machine as well as the speed of the machine simultaneously. Okay, please try to start, sir. Gradually. Yeah. See that? See the sound of the machine. It is right, running like anything. The torque is very high. So since I have given some load, but still that is a rise in the speed. Now try to observe the speed of the machine. So this is like 200. Start 1 minute. See, speed of the machine is also increased up to 3000 RPM. So try to apply the load. This is not the actual load. You should have given more load since the time of starting itself. Now okay, it's bringing to the normal condition. Observe the ammeter reading here. Since the machine is loaded at the time of starting itself, machine is giving higher rating of readings like 6 amperes, almost 19 amperes is the maximum. Almost we are given like 40% to 30% of the load is given to the machine. Okay, this is what the starting condition actually you would observe. Then always apply some amount of water inside the drum because it is loaded. The drum will get heated up. Sometimes it may lead to some other unnecessary happenings will happen. Sometimes the belt will cut or it will slip. We cannot able to observe the perfect readings at all. Since it is loaded, try to observe that the swing balance is giving the maximum amount of value. You have to observe the readings like this swing balance reading, speed, ammeter as well as voltmeter reading is to be noted for each and every step gradually. We will take 1 or 2 readings for you and then you gradually rise and go up to the maximum current, say 19 amperes for this machine. So we'll do one more reading. Just try to give another load slowly. Yeah, now the voltmeter is maintained almost constant. It is not at all varying. And see the current now. In earlier condition it was 6 amperes. Now it is like 7.5 amperes. It is into 2 times. I am talking about into 2 times. We have multiplication factor is 2. It is 14.7 like 15 amperes given. At this condition, try to observe the speed. See the speed is like now 1664. 1664 and the swing balance reading is like 15 and then on the other side is 4. So 15 minus of 4 it is 11. Similarly we can go for another set of reading. Try to give another load. Raise the load gradually. Raising the load. Observe the speed also. Observe the sound also. It is 1522 RPM. Now see the ammeter reading here. Like it is like 8 into 2, like 16 amperes. Almost we have crossed 75% of the load. At that condition also, ammeter voltmeter remains constant. So in such a way, we have to go and we have to execute until the maximum load. Okay. Now I will tell you the procedure for shutting down. Slowly, gradually, you have to reduce the load, and we should not go to zero load. That is very important. Gradually reduce it. Observe the speed as well as sound of the machine is gradually reducing and try to see the speed. Observe the sound of the machine. That is the vibration. That is the so this is the case. Again now measure the speed now. speed is increasing. So we should not go to some beyond some extent. At this condition, try to switch off the machine directly. Automatically the starter will come down. See how much amount of heat is coming out from the brake drum. So for necessary cooling, we have to add some more water then and there. So this is the way that you have to execute this particular experiment. And we have to at least take some 8 readings maximum and minimum 6 readings, so that we can have a very good plot and we can have a very good observations and from the demonstrations. So this is the way, and just wait until some time. I will tell you how to execute with the formulas and how to calculate the efficiency with some examples. Okay, I told you how to demonstrate, and how I just demonstrated you how to do the experiment. Now, based on the tabulated readings, you can able to draw the model graph. We can able to draw the graph, which this is the model graph actually. Just try to calculate the values as per the formulas, which is already tabulated while you are doing experiment. Based on your tabulation, just try to calculate based on the formula and try to plot the graph. This is the model graph which shows relationship output power, and the efficiency curve will be like this, and speed torque characteristics will be like this, and this is the torque versus speed again will be like this. Sorry, this is not speed, this is actually the speed torque characteristics of a machine, and this is torque versus the current, the load, I mean the armature current, which is load current here actually. And this is the tabulation we have to proceed. As I told, we have to measure the voltage, and we have to measure the speed, and we have to measure the spring balance readings, and we have to measure the, where is the speed here? Speed, current and voltage and spring balance readings should be noted, at least 6 to 8 readings, and calculate the torque as per the formula, calculate the output power as per the formula, and calculate the efficiency as per the formula. From the tabulated readings, try to draw the graph so that you can observe and you can able to understand the difference between the model and actually what is actually coming for you, and you can able to get the inference, and the inference is very, very important in each and every experiment. So this is the way we have to conduct an experiment step by step. I hope you understand it, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you for your patient listening. I wish you all the best for your bright future. Thank you. Bye bye. See you.